Taurus, have you ever noticed how people observe you differently? Not with that quick, superficial glance they give everyone, but with that lingering, curious, almost reverent attention. They study how you move through the world with a calm that seems impossible in this age of haste and anxiety. How you speak less, but when you do, everyone stops to listen. How you don't need to shout about your qualities because they emanate from you like a natural perfume, impossible to ignore. And most interestingly, you probably never notice this because you're too busy being authentically yourself to realize the impact you make. There's a special gravity around you. People are drawn into your orbit without fully understanding why. They feel safer in your presence, calmer around you, as if your very existence were a silent promise that not everything in the world is chaos. And while other signs need to perform, fight for attention, constantly prove their worth, you simply exist. And this tranquil existence is so magnetic that people can't help but admire you. What I'm about to reveal isn't just about astrology. It's about recognizing in yourself what everyone around you has already seen, but which you may never have given yourself permission to celebrate. 7 reasons why Taurus isn't just another sign in the Zodiac, but the one people secretly long to be around, the one they would choose if they could choose who stays in their lives through the storms. The first reason lies in your intentional silence. While the whole world is desperate to speak, to be heard, to take up space with words that often say nothing, you have developed the rare art of truly listening. Not the polite kind of listening where the other person is just waiting their turn to speak, but the kind of total presence where you truly absorb what the other person is saying, where you can hear not just the words, but what is being said in the silence between them. People feel seen around you in a way they don't experience anywhere else. They can take off their masks, stop performing, because you're not judging. You're there, solid as a mountain, offering your undivided attention like a rare gift in this world of endless distractions. And this creates a loyalty in the people around you, a deep gratitude for someone who finally lets them be human without having to be perfect. Your silence isn't empty, it's full. It's reflection, observation, wisdom being accumulated. And when you finally speak, your words carry a weight that hurried words could never have. People have learned that when Taurus speaks, it's worth stopping and paying attention because you don't waste words on nonsense. You speak when you have something real to say, and this economy of language makes each of your sentences worth its weight in gold. The second reason lies in your unbreakable loyalty. In a world where relationships are disposable, where people disappear at the first sign of trouble, where commitments are made and broken as easily as deleting a photo, you are an anchor. When you choose someone, whether in friendship, love, or any other form of connection, you truly choose, not out of impulse or convenience, but because you see something in that person that deserves your emotional investment. And once you make that choice, you don't abandon them. Not in difficult times, not when they're at their worst, not when it would be easier to simply walk away. You stay, you support them. You offer your silent strength as a pillar they can hold on to when everything else is crumbling. People know, intuit deep in their souls, that if they can earn a Taurus's loyalty, they've gained something precious and rare, like a jewel no one else in the world possesses. Your loyalty isn't blind, you're not naive, nor do you allow yourself to be used. But once someone proves worthy of your trust, you commit in a way that frightens those accustomed to superficial bonds. You become family not in the biological sense, but in the deepest sense. Someone who will always be there, a safe harbor in any storm, and in a world where no one else seems to stay, where everyone seems ready to replace you at any moment, your permanence is revolutionary. The third reason lies in your hands. You have an almost magical ability to create beauty in the physical world. Whether through food that not only nourishes but soothes the soul, through environments that transform houses into homes, or through any form of art or creation you touch, There's an earthly sensuality to the way you interact with the material world that other signs simply don't possess. When you cook, you're not just preparing nutrients, you're creating an experience, pouring love into each ingredient, transforming the act of eating into a sacred moment of connection. When you organize a space, you're not just arranging objects, you're creating an atmosphere where people can breathe, relax, and feel at home in the deepest sense of the word. Your hands seem to have a direct connection to the earth, an ancient wisdom about how to take raw material and transform it into something that nourishes not only the body, but also the spirit. People are drawn to the spaces you create because there's a quality of presence, of tangible reality that contrasts sharply with the empty virtuality of the modern world. In your home, in your company, eating your food, people remember that they are physical creatures who need real substance, not just digital stimuli. You reconnect them with their own bodies, with their senses, with the simple but profound pleasure of existing in a material world. The fourth reason pulsates in your quiet strength. You're not strong in the loud way the world celebrates. You're not constantly proving your resilience or flexing your emotional muscles. But when crisis hits, when everyone around you is panicking, you become a rock. People literally cling to you because your calm amidst chaos is contagious, a promise that it's possible to weather any storm without breaking. Your strength doesn't come from denying your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It comes from a deep connection with something greater, a knowing that everything passes, that you've survived other storms and will survive this one. You don't struggle or engage in dramatic displays of suffering. You simply put one foot in front of the other, keep doing what needs to be done, and this calm persistence is more inspiring than any motivational speech could be. People admire you because they see in you a possibility they never knew existed, the ability to face life without constantly being on the verge of a nervous breakdown, to be strong without being harsh, to have clear boundaries without being inflexible. You prove that it is possible to be simultaneously firm and kind, unwavering and compassionate. Taurus, I know that as you listen to me, you may be feeling uncomfortable with all this praise. You're not the type to seek the spotlight or be put on a pedestal. You're probably thinking, that's not me, or he's exaggerating, because it's in your nature to not see the extraordinary in yourself that is absolutely obvious to everyone around you. But I need you to pause for a moment and let these truths sink in, because recognizing your own worth isn't arrogance. It's justice. It's honoring what you offer the world quietly, consistently, without expecting applause. It's allowing yourself to receive some of the admiration you constantly offer others through your steady, nurturing presence. Leave a comment now saying, I'm learning to recognize my own worth. It's not vanity, it's liberation. It's giving yourself permission to take up space, to be seen, to acknowledge that yes, you are special in ways that matter deeply. And when you write this, you're helping other Tauruses who have also been taught to be too humble, to diminish themselves too much, to see their own light as ordinary when it is extraordinary. The fifth reason breathes in your effortless authenticity. In a world obsessed with carefully curated images, where people spend hours constructing fake personas for social media, you remain unalterably real. You don't know how to be anything other than yourself, and this is simultaneously your vulnerability and your greatest power. You don't change your personality depending on who you're with. You don't adopt different masks for different audiences. The Taurus your parents know is the same one your friends know, the one your co-workers know. There's an integrity to your being that's rare, to the point of being almost alien in this age of identity fragmentation. People can trust that the version of you they know today will be the same tomorrow, next year, the next decade. This consistency isn't boredom. It's reliability elevated to an art form. In a world where no one knows who they can trust, where people change their opinions, their values, their entire personalities at the speed of the wind, you are a constant, a fixed point in a universe of chaotic change. And people have no idea how desperately they need this stability until they find it in you. Your authenticity also means you're not afraid to buck trends when they don't make sense to you. While everyone else is chasing the latest trend, you comfortably continue to enjoy what you've always loved. While fashion changes radically every season, you maintain your personal style that truly represents you. This ability to resist social pressure to be like everyone else is admirable precisely because it's so rare. The sixth reason manifests itself in your practical sense applied with love. You're not just the dreamer who has beautiful ideas, you're the one who turns dreams into tangible reality. When someone is lost in theories and abstract possibilities, you bring the conversation back to earth, asking, "But how are we going to make this actually happen?" Not critically or negatively, but constructively, transforming fantasy into an actionable plan. People admire you because you help them build their lives, literally brick by brick. You don't promise instant miracles or overnight transformations. You offer something more valuable, a concrete path of small, consistent steps that actually lead somewhere. You understand that greatness is built through daily commitments, through consistent choices, through work that may not be glamorous but is necessary. And you do this work. You don't just talk about it or inspire others to do it while avoiding the hard parts yourself. You literally put your hands into it, your energy into the construction, your time into the details that others would consider too boring. And when something is finally finished, a project, a relationship, a life built with patience, the solidity of that creation testifies to your dedication in a way that words never could. Your practicality isn't a lack of imagination. It's imagination tempered with realism, dreams fused with discipline to create something that can actually exist in the physical world, rather than just in the realm of ideas. You understand that a sandcastle, no matter how beautiful, won't protect anyone from the rain, so you build with materials that last, structures that withstand storms, foundations that can support generations. The seventh and final reason, and perhaps the most powerful, lies in your ability to make people feel safe, to be vulnerable. There's something about your presence that lowers people's defenses, inviting them to take off their armor and rest. Not because you force intimacy or demand confessions, but because you create a space where it's safe to be fragile without fear of judgment or rejection. You don't shy away from people's emotions. You don't shy away when someone is going through a difficult time. You don't offer unsolicited advice or try to quickly fix what they're feeling. You simply stand there, solid and present, offering your quiet strength as a container for them to anchor themselves to while they process their own inner storms. This ability to hold emotional space for others without being consumed by your emotions is a rare and deeply admired skill. People spend their entire lives searching for someone with whom they can be completely honest, completely themselves, including the broken and imperfect parts. And when they find that in you, they hold on tight because they know it's precious and rare. Your presence is healing not because you actively try to heal, but because you accept. You accept people as they are, with their flaws, confusion, and contradictions. You don't demand they be perfect to deserve your time or attention. And in this unconditional acceptance, people find permission to finally be human, finally let their guard down, finally rest from the exhausting work of pretending they have everything under control. Taurus, what makes you so admired isn't a single spectacular quality that overshadows all others. It's the whole package of who you are, the solidity, the loyalty, the beauty you create, the quiet strength, the authenticity, the loving practicality, the emotional security you offer. It's how you weave all these qualities into a cohesive presence that becomes a refuge in a world that often feels too hostile. People don't admire you in the loud, public way our culture celebrates. They admire you quietly, deeply, in the way that matters most. They admire you on the nights they realize you're the only person they want to call when things get tough. They admire you when they realize your presence in their lives is the difference between just surviving and truly living. They admire you when they stop and realize that you have consistently been the rock on which they have built their own lives. And perhaps the most admirable aspect of all is that you do all this without expecting recognition. You're not keeping score of who owes you what. You're not waiting for people to notice and thank you. You simply are who you are, offering what you offer, because it's part of your essential nature to create stability, beauty, and security around you. You couldn't be any other way, even if you tried. But today, in this moment, I need you to allow that wonder to enter. I need you to recognize, even if only for a moment, that you are not just another person trying to survive in this chaotic world. You are someone who is actively making this world more livable for everyone lucky enough to know you. You are someone whose existence makes a real, tangible difference in the lives of those around you. The world needs you exactly as you are. It needs your calm amidst collective chaos. It needs your loyalty in an age of disposable connections. It needs your ability to create beauty and substance in an increasingly virtual and empty environment. It needs your quiet strength when everyone else seems to be shouting. It needs your authenticity when falsehood is the norm. It needs your loving practicality to transform dreams into constructed realities. It needs your healing presence so people can finally let down their defenses and be human. Taurus, you carry the world on your shoulders without making a fuss. You sustain people, situations, and dreams without demanding credit. You build the foundations upon which others build their lives, and you often remain invisible in this construction. But those who truly see you, those who pay attention, those who are wise enough to recognize true value when they find it, they know it, they admire it. They are grateful for your presence in their lives in ways they may never be able to fully express in words. And if you don't believe me, watch. Watch how people seek your company when they're weary of the world, how they gravitate toward you when they need peace, how they trust you with their deepest secrets, how they depend on your presence to feel grounded, how your name is the one that comes up when someone asks, who in your life would you never want to lose? This is no coincidence. It's recognition, it's admiration manifested in consistent choices to keep you close, to include you, to value you. You are admired not despite your quiet, practical nature, but precisely because of it. Because in a world that glorifies the noisy and superficial, you remind people of what truly matters: substance, loyalty, real beauty, true strength, authenticity, practicality, applied with love, emotional security. If this video made you recognize, even a little, your own extraordinary worth, share it in the comments. No need to make speeches, just acknowledge that yes, you may be more special than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your courage in acknowledging this may inspire other Tauruses to stop putting themselves down too. Subscribe to the channel because you deserve regular reminders of your value, your importance, and the positive impact you have on the world simply by existing in the authentic and solid way that you do. You deserve celebration, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinarily necessary, deeply admired, and absolutely irreplaceable in the lives of those lucky enough to have you around.